Good evening, friends. You are most welcome to Think Eyes channel. Today we are discussing the question and answers of anthropology. Is FRA applicable in national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and tiger reserves? What is FRA? FRA is Forest Rights Act. Yes, FRA is applicable in national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and tiger reserves, as as is apparent from the definition of forest land under Section 2D, which describes forest land as land of any description falling within any forest area and includes sanctuaries and national parks. FRA Forest Rights Act only recognizes pre-existing rights which are already being exercised by the eligible persons in the national parks and sanctuaries. Other than securing the tenure of the existing forest dwellers on the land, no new rights are being created which might potentially impact the ecological balance inside the protected areas. Our next question: what is the criteria and evidence required for Forest Dwelling Scheduled Tribe FDST Forest Dwelling Scheduled Tribe to claim rights under FRA Forests Right Act? According to the Section 2C of FRA Forests Rights Act, to qualify as FDST Forest Dwelling Scheduled Tribe and be eligible for recognition of rights under FRA Forest Rights Act, three conditions must be satisfied by the applicant or applicants who could be members or community. First, must be a scheduled tribe in the area where the right is claimed. Second, primarily resided in the forest or forest land prior to December 13, 2005, and third, depend on the forest or forest land for bona fide livelihood needs. For bona fide livelihood needs. Our next question: can persons belonging to the scheduled tribes who have moved to non scheduled areas in the state claim forest rights as forest dwelling scheduled tribes? Can persons belonging to the scheduled tribes who have moved to a non-scheduled areas in the state claim forest rights as forest dwelling scheduled tribes? To claim forest rights as FDST, the FRA requires that the claimant should be a scheduled tribe in the relevant areas. In some states, a person's scheduled tribe status is restricted to a particular area or a district within the state. However, in other states, as per the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order 1950, the scheduled tribes are recognized as such for the entire state and not just to the area of their domicile or the scheduled area or any other geographical location. For example, in the state of Himachal Pradesh, members of the scheduled tribes from the Lahore and Spiti, which is a scheduled area, who may have moved to Manali, which is non-scheduled area of the district Kullu, continue nevertheless to remain scheduled tribes under the 1950 Presidential Order Supra and are not divested of such status merely due to a change in their domicile within the state. Our next question: what is the criteria and evidence required for an other traditional forest dwellers OTFD to claim rights under FRA Forest Rights Act? To qualify as OTFD and be eligible for the recognition of rights under FRA, two conditions need to be fulfilled. First, primarily resided in the forest or forest land for three generations 75 years prior to the December 13, 2005. Second, depend on the forest or forest land for bona fide livelihood needs. Note also that Section 2O refers to any member or community for this purpose, and hence if an OTFD, other traditional forest dweller, village establishes its eligibility under the Act, there is no need for every individual to do so separately. Next question: what is the documentary evidence required for establishing eligibility by OTFD under FRA? OTFD is other traditional forest dweller. Claims of OTFDs are being rejected by the state on the ground of lack of evidence of occupation of land for three generations, that is 75 years, which is not in accordance with the law. It is incorrect to say that the FRA that requires the occupation of forest land for 3 generations 75 years prior to the December 13, 2005 for qualifying as OTFD under the Act. The requirement under Section 2O is that the member or community should have primarily resided in forest land for at least 3 generations prior to the December 13, 2005 and depend on the forest for their bona fide livelihood needs. Our next question: can the state government frame rules and guidelines for the implementation of FRA in a uniform manner across the state? Only the central government is permitted to enact and notify legislative rules under Section 14 of FRA and issue general or special directions under Section 12 of FRA. However, there is no bar against the state government issuing executive instructions for the purpose of the implementation of FRA as long as such instructions are intra vires the FRA, FR rules, and directions under the Section 12. In addition, Governor of the state can issue regulations under the paragraph 5 of the 5th schedule of the Constitution of India for the scheduled areas. Our next question: tribals in the some settlements are demanding that land under cultivation should be assigned in their common name. Is this permissible under FRA? Section 3, Clause 1, Clause A of the FRA permits the recognition and vesting of the rights over the forest land under common occupation for cultivation in the name of a community of tribals. However, in view of the provisions of Section 4, Clause 6 of the Act, such forest land under the occupations of the community of the tribals shall be restricted to the area under actual occupation. Next question: how are titles for forest rights under FRA to be confirmed or to be conferred and in whose name? Repeat this question: how are titles for forest rights under FRA to be conferred and in whose name? Section 4, Clause 4 of the FRA, among other things, provides that a forest right conferred under an act shall be inheritable but not alienable or transferable, and shall be registered jointly in the name of both the spouses in the case of married person and in the name of a single head in the case of a household headed by a single person. In the absence of a direct heir, HEIR, the heritable right shall pass on the next of kin. There is no bar in the Act to the registration of the forest right conferred under the Act jointly in the name of both the spouses who are married intercaste, provided the applicant is either an FDST or fulfills the criteria for an OTFD. Our question is: repeat this question. How are the titles for the forest rights under FRA to be conferred and in whose name? Section 4, Clause 4 of the FRA, among other things, provide that a forest right conferred under the Act shall be heritable but not alienable or transferable, and shall be registered jointly in the name of both the spouses in the case of married persons and in the name of the single head in the case of a household headed by a single person. In the absence of the in the absence of the direct heir, the heritable rights shall pass on the next of kin, on to the next of kin. There is no bar in the Act to the registration of the forest right conferred under the Act jointly in the name of both the spouses who are married intercaste, provided the applicant is either an FDST or fulfills the criteria for OTFD. Thank you very much.